idea of a Star Wars-Marvel crossover, which would fulfill our every impossible fantasy, will probably never happen. Sorry, Patton Oswalt. No! The closest thing we have now are actors who have crossed over between the Star Wars universe and Marvel films. Sometimes they are so unrecognizable from one role to the next, you didn't even realize they were in both films.
You might wanna buckle up, baby.
Before we begin, hit the subscribe button to be the first in the know of all of Screen Rant's new content.
What's your name?
Felicia.
Felicity Jones. The sweeter-than-pie UK actress has been making a splash in Hollywood since her first role at 12 years old in The Treasure Seekers, a made-for-TV movie. If we were to guess back then that she'd star in both Marvel films and Star Wars, we're quite certain we wouldn't have seen it coming. After garnering a Best Actress Oscar nomination for her performance of Jane Wilde Hawking in The Theory of Everything, Jones's world of roles opened up. She soon was starring as the Rebel Alliance leader Jyn Erso in Rogue One, a Star Wars story, stealing the Death Star weapon blueprints from the Galactic Empire. Jones has always maintained a balanced career, playing in both independent films and major studio blockbusters. In The Amazing Spider-Man, Jones played across Dane DeHaan's Green Goblin as Felicia Hardy in 2014. Fans speculated that if future films were to be made, Felicia Hardy would have turned into Black Cat, Hardy's alter ego.
Thank you for letting me in.
Oscar Isaac. Oscar Isaac may be a hard one to miss in the Marvel films, unless you know what to look for. We all know he was the charismatic, charming, and now iconic Poe Dameron in Star Wars The Force Awakens and The Last Jedi. But when he joined Marvel, he was completely unrecognizable. A mere year after The Force Awakens was released in 2015, Isaac was seen in X-Men Apocalypse as En Sabah Nur, the purple villain completely covered in prosthetics. His mannerisms and movements are so different you can't even see a trace of our beloved Poe through his performance. Isaac's career started off with his training at the prestigious Juilliard School in New York City, and his talents were brought to worldwide audiences when the Coen brothers cast him as the down-and-out singer in Inside Llewyn Davis. Now as both the Star Wars and Marvel alum, Isaac juggles his career between cool indie features and major studio films. It's cool to see him transition from hero to villain with the role of En Sabah Nur in X-Men Apocalypse.
Do me a favor and don't be dead.
Natalie Portman. The Oscar-winning beauty makes music sing in our ears the moment we hear her name. Since she began acting at a young age, Portman has always been recognized for her stellar acting chops and her bold choice of roles. Prior to becoming the household name she is today, she landed the role of Queen Padme Amidala in 2001's Star Wars Phantom Menace, reprising the role in both Attack of the Clones and Revenge of the Sith. Portman may have been the gold dust that saved those films from Hayden Christensen's heavily criticized performance. Following the Star Wars films, which left audiences wanting even more of Portman, she went on to star in the Thor films across from Chris Hemsworth as the lovable astrophysicist Jane Foster. The MCU welcomed Portman fondly, and she was seen in Thor as well as Thor: The Dark World. So where was our Sunny Jane in Ragnarok? Well, according to Marvel, they are done with her character. We apologize, we should have warned you to grab tissues beforehand. Since her work on Thor ended, Portman has taken on a slew of challenging roles, such as Jackie Kennedy in Jackie, Lena in Annihilation, and our favorite pre-Thor film, Black Swan, for which she won an Academy Award for Best Actress.
Quit playing around.
Ray Park. Ray Park embodied one of the most revered villains other than Darth Vader in the Star Wars films. He played the terrifying Darth Maul. Park was cast as Darth Maul due to his physical prowess and training in hand-to-hand combat. Park is a Scottish martial artist and actor who played the red and black horned evil antagonist in The Phantom Menace in 1999. The few lines he did have as Darth Maul were dubbed over for the final edit of the film. Though he isn't the most well-known actor, the heavy makeup made him even more unrecognizable. Now, almost a decade later, Park has revived his role of Maul in 2018's Solo: A Star Wars Story. A year after landing Darth Maul, Park was picked up to play Toad in X-Men in 2000. He is Magneto's right-hand man throughout the film. With thick makeup, green hair, and contact lenses, Park's appearance was once again hidden. Park has not returned for another Marvel film after the first X-Men. Park has been seen in the G.I. Joe films as Snake Eyes, taking on yet another physical role. Seems like anything to do with martial arts is Park's forte.
Beautiful.
Benicio Del Toro. Benicio Del Toro is known for his offbeat, rambunctious, and sometimes otherworldly characters. Toro has been in such iconic films as The Usual Suspects, Traffic, Snatch, and Sicario, so it's no wonder he has landed some major blockbuster roles. His quirkiness and energy is exactly what he brings to his role of the Collector in Guardians of the Galaxy and Avengers: Infinity War. He does such a convincing job in the MCU, disappearing behind his bleach blonde hair and flamboyant outfit so well, we almost forget he's the famous actor that he is. As for his stint in Star Wars, he plays quite the dubious character. Del Toro has appeared in The Last Jedi, playing the character with malleable morals. He is a genius code breaker and becoming an ally to our heroes who soon sells them out for his own gain. Though he has limited screen time, his performance is memorable. DJ has a lisp, as well as particular mannerisms and idiosyncrasies that should have warned us of his evil turn. Will we be seeing more of Del Toro in any of the Marvel or Star Wars films? As of right now, it isn't looking so hot, but who knows what the future holds.
It's as I said, catastrophe.
Paul Bettany. Paul Bettany is one of those talented actors that flew under the radar for some time. The times have changed for him though, and walking down the street may not be as easy in 2018 as it was for him in 1998. For years, Bettany has played the role of Jarvis in Iron Man and the Avengers, starting off in 2008 and continuing right through until 2018. In Age of Ultron, when his consciousness was uploaded to a synthetic body, we got to see Bettany bring Vision to life in the flesh. In 2016, Bettany again appeared in Captain America: Civil War as Vision, and finally in the 2018 mega super blockbuster Avengers: Infinity War, where the Mind Stone was gruesomely ripped from his skull. His pivotal and ever-growing role in the MCU definitely makes us feel he will be returning for more, especially since he is the love interest of the Scarlet Witch, whose story will be explored more. Summer 2018 has proved a big season for Bettany. Only a month after the release of Infinity War, he is seen playing the lead villain in Solo: A Star Wars Story. He replaced actor Michael K. Williams, who could not attend reshoots of the film. He embodies the role of Dryden Vos, the evil dude who will stop at nothing.
All front.
Andy Serkis. Andy Serkis has made his name by being the world's top motion capture performance actor. Serkis has taken on roles in a handful of films, acting through the medium of mocap. The brilliant actor brought Caesar, the lead ape in the new Planet of the Apes films, as well as the unforgettably creepy Gollum in the Lord of the Rings saga. But this man is unstoppable. In 2018, he has a total of 98 roles on IMDb. He is the go-to motion capture artist. In 2015, Serkis appeared in both the MCU and a Star Wars film. Serkis first brought Supreme Leader Snoke to life in Star Wars: The Force Awakens. During the same year, he played Ulysses Klaue in Avengers: Age of Ultron. Both roles have had a continuous arc throughout the different universes, with Ulysses appearing in the 2018 high-grossing film Black Panther, and Snoke saw his defeat in The Last Jedi. Serkis is recognized for his work by bringing unlikely characters to life, so seeing him play Klaue in the Marvel films may be a shock. Or perhaps many fans don't even know they're also seeing Caesar, Snoke, and Gollum at the same time. Who is your favorite Andy Serkis character?
There's nothing to thank me for.
Lupita Nyong'o. With her breakout role in 12 Years a Slave, which also won her an Oscar, making all her wildest dreams come true in less than a year, Lupita Nyong'o has become a hot Hollywood snag. That is, if you can get her in your film. With the studio power behind the MCU and Star Wars, both were able to get Nyong'o in their epic, action-packed films. In 2018, Lupita was seen in the massive box office grossing film Black Panther, playing the role of Nakia. Nakia is an ally to T'Challa, who in the comics has a tumultuous relationship with Black Panther. Potentially, that could be a hint that we'll see more of the tough gal in films to come. As for Star Wars, she is less recognizable than in Black Panther, playing the role of the wisdom-possessing elder pirate queen Maz Kanata. For this role, Nyong'o did performance capture, which is a combination of motion capture, facial capture, and voice work. So if you're looking for the young, vibrant Lupita, you may have missed her altogether. She appeared as Maz in The Force Awakens and The Last Jedi, with a prediction she will be appearing in the next chapter of the trilogy.
How did you get in here?
Rose Byrne. The wonderful Australian-born star has become a household name for her appearance in the X-Men franchise as Moira McTaggart, among a slew of other hit series and movies. Some of the major culprits to Byrne's success are Bridesmaids, Neighbors, Insidious, and her brilliant lead role in the FX series Damages. However, back in 2002, Byrne had a small role in Star Wars Episode II, Attack of the Clones, playing Dorms. Even hardcore Star Wars fans may have forgotten that Byrne was in the major franchise. She played one of Padme Amidala's handmaidens and had little to do do other than a couple lines and some background acting. Of course, that was one of her first biggest American roles that put her on the map to continue working, a short time later making it big in Hollywood. Byrne snagged a ton of fans and accolades for her larger role in the X-Men First Class series as the X-Men ally and CIA agent, showing the world she is so much more than a handmaid.
You ain't never done this before, huh?
Donald Glover. Donald has been around for a long time, but recently made waves with his roles in both Star Wars and the MCU. For years, he was best known as the musical artist Childish Gambino, a writer on the hit show 30 Rock, and for his role as Troy Barnes in Community. In 2018, Glover proved he is more than just a rapper, actor, and comedian, but also a serious screenwriter and director, with HBO's two-time Golden Globe-winning series ATLANTE, in which Glover created, directed, and starred in. We first saw Glover as Aaron Davis in Spider-Man: Homecoming, starring alongside Tom Holland in the surprisingly small role, whose comic book counterpart is the uncle of Miles Morales. This opens up the possibility of Morales appearing in the MCU at some point. Directly following his stint, surely unfinished stint that is, in the Marvel Universe, Glover played Lando Calrissian in Solo: A Star Wars Story. There really is no stopping this dude. After the controversial release of his music video This Is America, the next season of Atlanta, and his role of Simba in the live-action remake of The Lion King, we can't wait to follow this man for years to come.
Gotta say, that's awesome.
Which actor are you most surprised are in both films? Which other actors do you know of that are featured in both Marvel films and Star Wars? Let us know in the comments below. Remember to give us a like and hit that subscribe button to be the first one notified of Screen Rant's new content. Thanks for watching. We'll see you next time.